light for you in dark places when all other lights go out.
Hey guys, DCHL Devin here, and welcome to another Light in the Dark video. And today I wanted to go ahead and talk about what we have in store for Nova Open 2019. A lot of you guys have been asking about what is it that I'm planning on doing now that Middle-earth SBG has been out, and what terrain we're going to get, and what's the events and such like that we're doing. So I wanted to go ahead and take some time in this video to discuss some of my just plans overall, and hopefully maybe you guys can discuss and share some of what you guys would like to see, even if you're not going to attend the Nova Open. Maybe you live in Britain or something and it's just too far away. We actually have a lot of beautiful terrain boards which we'd love to have your contributions on, because some of these ideas that we have coming up with are actually pretty awesome. So let's go ahead and get right into it. First off, as far as the events, guys, everyone's used to Nova Open being a 5-round event. Now, because of that, I could never expand the player base beyond 70 tables. Well, I am proud to say that I have managed to get a 6th round in there without it seeming overwhelming. And so I've managed to pull that off, and what that means is we can now expand the player base. Also, because I have Nova's help with the terrain, they're going to actually be helping me get some of this terrain commissioned and stuff like that, so that way we can get as many boards out there as possible, and that allows me to have more players. So the player cap is increasing. And that is actually great news for me and for the Lord of the Rings community, because Nova Open is basically one big, massive advertisement for Lord of the Rings, given the fact that there's multiple game systems attending there, 30 to be exact, and they are all going to see the fantastic quality of the Lord of the Rings boards, and I am looking forward to it. And speaking of the boards, we might as well say a send-off of what we have coming up. You guys may have seen on the American SBG page, if you guys don't know about it, there actually is an SBG page just strictly for, well, not strictly, we have lots of other countries on there, but it is for American events and caters to that. In there, we posted, okay, what kind of terrain boards do we want to see? You know, what's the new ones we have? Now, I have a huge list of terrain already, so you guys may sit in the comment section and be like, Rohan and the Treasure Hoards of Smaug and all that, and it's like, well, we already made those. You should come to Nova and check them out, or at least go on the DCHL website. We actually have quite a few pictures of most of the boards up there. It's not all of them, but we are planning a bunch of new boards. Now, I know that we have another Lake Town revision coming from the OHA member, George Nicotitis. I don't know if you guys have known the OHA. They make some of the most fantastic boards in the world. David Clubley, if you guys know him, he's actually a player from the GBHL. He described these boards as being some of the most beautiful he's ever seen. And this is a guy who's been to Steve Crow's tournaments out there in the GBHL. Fantastic terrain if you haven't seen his. He's been to Nova Open, fantastic boards there, and even the OHA blew him away. This guy's bringing 5 boards, and we are happy to bring his stuff to Nova again. He's even going to be judging at the Nova Open tournament, so feel free to bug him all day. He'll be quite free to chat and everything like that. He's a great guy. He's bringing a Lake Town revision, and also he's going to be bringing us a Gundabad board. Or he's talking about like 2 levels. 2 levels, and you know what, I won't spoil it too much, but guys, if you're seeing everything on the screen here, lots of already fantastic boards already made by him. And of course, we're going to have the legendary Alex Wright building a board. He doesn't know it yet. I haven't actually contacted him, but I'm sure he'll say yes. So he's going to be building, I'm thinking, either a new Ravenhill variant or something like that, but we do have that in the works. We always try to upgrade a lot of the boards, and he has built a black gate that was stunning. Thinking about getting a black gate board on there. Guys, there's one I'm particularly excited about. One person named Michael Berry in the DCHL group, he kind of just named off randomly. He's like, why don't we do the Fall of Gondolin? And that, at first, I'm like, okay, all right, spiraling towers and stuff. And then he said, we can put a couple dead Balrogs in there. And I'm like, that's awesome. So we're actually going to have dead Balrogs and a destroyed landscape with elves. It's going to be the Fall of Gondolin. So like destroyed buildings and fire and stuff like that. But the real cool part is we're actually making Gothmog. Now, if you think I'm talking about the orc, it's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Lord of the Balrogs. The Gothmog is actually the name of also the head of all the Balrogs, the strongest of them. We'll do the Great Battle Axe, and actually we have Shadow and Flame already kind of lined up to try to commission this thing and get this a souped up Balrog. Just imagine like an oversized Balrog. So clearly we can't use the actual Balrog model. but we can get extremely close. And I think you guys will love the model that we choose for this. And we can make him not look like a bloodthirster. I'll give you that hint. So basically, we're going to have him at the top of the tower of the main building fighting against the Elven Lords. I believe it's Ecthelion, actually. I think the Elven Lord's name was Ecthelion, who slew the Balrog. We're actually going to have a scene of him and the Elf Lord fighting and destroying the building that they're on top of. Now, the building's going to be so high in the air that you're not really going to interact with that as a player on the field, but what you are going to be able to interact with are the dead Balrogs on the grounds, strewn elven bodies on the battlefield, and the destroyed landscape around it. Very excited about that board. Then we have Blake Dixon. Actually, if you guys don't know, he is the Nova Open Best Display Board winner, so he's already very good at doing terrain, and he is going to be making the, forgive me, I know I'm going to butcher this name, the Kadhadras, the White Mountains, where the Stone Giants fought. He's going to be doing a snowy board, and we're actually going to try to actually build Stone Giants on the board as well. And they won't interact with anything, but they're going to be huge and kind of embedded into the terrain. If you haven't seen SBG Magazine's Stone Giant, I would definitely recommend it. It's the latest SBG Magazine issue. They had Stone Giants in there, and they're kind of embedded into the mountain. That's basically the same style that we're going to be using. If you don't know what SBG Magazine is, hit up Damien O'Byrne. He is and Tom Harrison. They sell that. After that, what do we got going on? Lothlorien by Seth Hinder. He's actually year 2 best display board. He'll actually, well, we're trying to see how we can build a Lothlorien board where all the walkways won't get in the way of hands of the players. Guys, we got a lot of options going on here. I mean, it's exciting times. The fact that we have the OHA, once again, like I said, George Nicola is back building more boards and stuff like that. He's bringing all his old ones, by the way, so for those of you who've seen his works, he's actually bringing everything you've seen on the screen. And except for Rivendell. Can't transport that. It's too big. But other than that, if you're interested actually in seeing OHA boards, by the way, George Nikitidis has a tournament for the OHA, and he hosts that with the other OHA members the last weekend of March, and that is where his doubles tournament is going to be. So if you want to see a great example of those boards, and let's say you can't come to Nova, but you're Canadian, which is, you know, then you're already up there, or you live in the Detroit area or the New York area or something like that, I highly recommend going to see it. Just playing on the boards themselves is all you'd really want to see for it's exactly what you're looking for the perfect Lord of the Rings themed board playing experience. So very excited, if you can't tell, about having that on board. So as far as Nova as well, we got the traditional Chaos and Arda, the GT. I have asked the Middle-earth team to bring the new Rob Alderman, who has replaced Adam Troke as the Middle-earth head manager. If you guys don't know anything about him, he's actually not new in the community. He's been playing for quite a number of years. He's just not as known as Adam Troke was. Adam Troke is, from what I'm hearing, is still kind of... he's still going to help out. He's helping out the Middle-earth team. Middle-earth is dear to his heart, and we are all very happy about that. And so hopefully maybe showing the masterful direction he's already been taking the game in. And I'm sure, you know, Rob hasn't had a lot of time, but I'm sure, of course, they picked him for a reason. He's going to do the game a lot of justice. And I want all the Americans to meet him. I have invited him to Nova Open. It's not confirmed. We don't know if he's coming. I just sent out the invitation. I said, hey, it would be awesome if you showed up. And of course, you know, nothing can be confirmed until like almost last minute. So hopefully that happens, but you're going to see the Middle-earth seminar on there anyway. It's on the schedule. We have to kind of have the schedule confirmed before we even get an approval from Rob Alderman. And we'll turn it into something else where we can give some really good information and such like that if he's not able to show up. But so far, Adam Troke's showed up twice in a row, so here's to hoping. And otherwise, other than that, we have the events you're used to. The only other one that you might not be familiar with is a Fantasy Fellowship. You're going to see that on there. The rules pack for that isn't out. It's actually its own kind of element and game system in a sense, sort of like Battle Companies. Kind of think Battle Companies, but meets like D&D in a sense. Basically, you kind of forge your own units, just like Battle Companies does, but you're not restricted to the factions of Battle Companies. It's like, imagine you want to take a battle company and it's an elf and a man and a dwarf and some other stuff, you know, and you get to kind of forge that and they go on their own journeys because it'll be like a man of Gondor. So it won't be a warrior of Minas Tirith, it'll be a man of Gondor who will get stats and such like but not restricted along those lines. You'll see the event pack on that. I'll have it on the DCHL website, and I'll be here talking about the games and kind of showcasing how it plays out. But I'm pretty excited to unveil that. If you guys know, I actually like inventing new formats to play in. Chaos and Order being probably one of the most successful ones that I've come up with. So we're really excited to see how that plays out. Other than that, guys, I mean, it is Nova as you always have known it. I'm not changing the format too much. It's going to have lots of beautiful terrain. It's going to have a really easy, good schedule going on, and I am looking forward to seeing all of you there. Let me know if you want to see any terrain, maybe something of your choice and stuff that, you know, you really wanted to see there. We actually have another terrain maker, John McConnell. Maybe, I don't know, I can kind of convince him to make 2 boards. He's already making one, the Beacons of Middle-earth and the White Mountains and stuff like that. So, I don't know, maybe I can kind of strong-arm making 1 more if it's a really awesome idea. He does fantastic terrain as well. So, looking forward to seeing you all there, and I'll talk to you all very soon.